Hey, what's going on with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and fangirls alike? This is the one, the only Criticism Guy 2009 aka Nintendofreak2011. Before I begin, the reason why I was so excited after I saw this movie about 2 days ago is I've been wanting to do this for almost 3-4 months already, but I finally was able to go see it. And it's a Hobbit Desulation of Smaug, or Smaug, however you want to say it. I'm going to call him Smaug because he's cool as hell. And without further ado on now, let's get this shit started. So the reason why it took me a little while to go see it, because I saw it in 3E. It takes me a little bit more longer to make money like that. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to get into all the details, but this movie was extremely phenomenal, well put together, well thought out. Peter Jackson is literally like the god of fucking directing at this point. This guy has got to get at least 20 or 30 fucking Oscar awards for getting this freaking shit done. From the screenplay to the fucking makeup the artist designed to the fucking makeup, gurus or whatever, to the freaking amazing badass acting, the actors, all the CGI, etc., 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 etc. The story, the plot, the continuity, the freaking storyline that's just freaking amazing as hell. I love every fucking moment of it. It's badass. Of course, to get Orlando Bloom back in here again, like it was in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like Fellowship of the Ring, Return of the King, and Fighting of Sarron or something, Fall of Sarron, I don't know. But yeah, this is super amazingly up as hell. I'm not going to get into every single detail what it was about from beginning to end because that shit would take forever. I'm just going to go into the highlights and details of how badass this fucking movie was. Like, a lot of people were talking about the barrel and the waterfall scene. I thought that was fucking great as hell. I got to give kudos on credit where credit is due to Peter Jackson. You took the fucking cake on that one, buddy. Literally, you took every single thing I wanted in this movie. You made this shit come true. You brought it to life. You made all the CGI crazy as fuck. Especially shout out to that actor Benedict Cumberbatch for doing this movie. You didn't get a lot of the starlight shining, starlight credibility that he got. So the only 2 movies he did this year was The Fifth Estate and 12 Years a Slave. That was pretty good ass decent actor. I didn't get to see the movie, but I did see the trailers for it. Another reason why this thing was really amazing, I think his name was Martin Bryan or something like that. He was really good as Bilbo Baggins, the main character. There was a couple scenes in the movie, like the part where they're getting attacked by and it's going to have a lot of spoilers, so bear with me. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, you can get out right now. I'm just letting you know for your own good if you haven't seen this yet. But if you have seen it, you already know what I'm going to say. So basically, this is one scene where Bilbo Baggins, he's fighting off all these freaking huge ass spiders that are talking. Anytime he puts the ring on, he can hear the translation, what they're talking about. He's telling you to kill them, destroy them, suck their blood, all this crazy shit. And then Bilbo Baggins starts slicing all these arachnids, if you want to call them that, or spiders, big giant ass spiders. And they end up killing every single one of them. And then the dwarves almost die. And I think Tobin's the one that's the leader of the dwarves. The dwarfs, not drawers. That's something else. And then what happens is after that, there's a little bit of there's not as much screen time for Ian Mikaillans, the one that plays Magneto in the First Class movie and the original old school X-Men movies. He's going to be in the Days of Futures Past, so I will be doing a review on that in the future in a couple months from now in March. I think it's May when it comes out, excuse me. There's another scene where he's fighting Sarron in this big giant evil form or whatever, instead of before the Lord of the Rings one, he was just a big giant eye. He was actually a big giant shadow thing or whatever, where he's all over the world or whatever. Freaking insane as hell. Another really cool reason why I love this movie a lot, besides the spider fight scene where he's getting wrapped and entangled into all these spider webs, it's huge as fuck, amazingly epic. The environment, the big, overworld of this thing is fucking phenomenal. Good God. I was on the edge of my seat every time he was about to fight all these orcs and everything. These demonic looking dirtbag thingies. That was pretty much end up destroying them all. And the dwarves ended up fighting back. They kicked a lot of ass. And right before the spiders were about to destroy them and suck all their blood out, Orlando Bloom as one of the elves, and that girl, that was the elf girl, I don't remember her name in real life, but I know her. She was the elf girl in there with the real blonde red hair or whatever. She was really fucking badass, cool shit. She was a sexy, hot piece of looking ass too. Elves are real, I would definitely fuck that pussy like crazy, I'm not gonna lie. If they were real. Sorry about my people that are under 18 and under, I know. View discretion is definitely fucking advised before I keep going any further. I would be using a shit ton of fucking profanity too, like I just did there. Another reason why this thing was cool is after that, there's a lot of fights, the elves end up locking him up, and then the barrel scene comes in with the waterfall, like I was just talking about not too long ago. That shit was epic as hell. The way the elves were just shooting arrows like pew, pew, pew. They're like Batman and fucking Robin on steroids, literally. to the extent of my imagination. That shit was phenomenal. Best part in the fucking movie, I would agree. I would argue with the Desulation of Smaug part. Smaug, I'm gonna get to that at the end. And after that, what happens? You end up going to this little village in town, and the one scene where all the orcs are taking over the big little small town where the humans are living at, where their ancestors used to be dwarves and now they're all the regular average human beings. There's this one dude or whatever. He said, "Oh, you'll destroy us all." And there's this fat, ugly piece of shit. What's his name? May or whatever. He's pretty much a glutton. He only cares about women, money, and bitches and clothing. That's all he cares about. And then after that, what happens is he ends up giving the dwarves a chance, so he's not a complete bastard, to go into like the Goblin Tower or whatever. I think that's what it's called. That or the Dwarf Tower, the one where it's Smaug. He ended up taking over the whole thing, which is played and voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch besides Sarron. Because I know Sarron, who's actually played by Benedict Cumberbatch, he had a lot more starlight as Smaug than he did as Sarron. And when Ian Mikaillans was fighting all the orcs, he kept saying all these languages like, "You shall not pass," and then after that, boom, he ends up blowing this big giant like elf magical wizard spell or whatever. It just blows it out of proportion, and all the elves go flying from wall to fucking wall. They were just dying like fucking hell. Ian Mikaillans did a really great job as Gandalf the Grey, the wizard. Really fucking awesome. I can't wait to see him in Days of Futures Past 2 when it comes out in May next year. Definitely anticipating that shit for the fucking win. Definitely check that shit out. I highly suggest. This thing gets A+, 5 guns out of 5 for sure. And I'm not going to finish it up yet. Or 5 dragons out of 5, since this is the Desulation of Smaug. Another really awesome reason why I love this movie, all the action and fighting scenes. Those are a little bit of emotional moments, you know. It gets you down there in the fucking heart, you know. And I was almost in tears, I'm not going to lie. A grown-ass man like me was almost getting ready to fucking cry over this shit. It was that fucking emotional, especially with the one scene where that dude was, one of the elves were dying. I think his name was Thomas or something. One of the dwarfs, excuse me. He was dying because he got hit by a poison arrow when they were escaping in the barrel waterfall scene earlier in the movie. Because it was spreading throughout his body, and the elves, she did all this magical, godless, like, or godness spells or whatever she was putting on his head. And after she did that, she put it on his legs like, "Ah! Help me, it stings, it burns." And after that, there was no Smeagol or Gollum in this one, which is kind of weird as shit, but it's all good. And then after that, what happens is Sarron ends up taking over like Gandalf the Grey. He ends up being in the prison at the end. Spoiler alerts there. And the way they did Sauron's elvish, like demonic voice, epic as hell. I gotta give credit where credit is due, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch, for doing that film. You are awesome. You're a boss. You're amazing. Don't ever fucking change. Another reason why I really, really like this movie is the orcs didn't get as much time. They only got like half of the time in their movie. And it was pretty freaking decent, especially when they found a cave. That was awesome as hell. The secret key to like the dwarf castle. They finally find it. It's not the sunlight. It's actually the moonlight that reflects to it. That's crazy as hell. And Bilbo Baggins ends up figuring out the secret passageway to how to get there and everything. And there's a couple comedy skits here and there in this movie. This has everything. Action, adventure, romance, comedy, whatever you want, they got it. And of course, this prince guy, he's really, really evil. And he ends up having this big, giant scar in his face when he explains how evil he was. And after that, what happens is, at the end of the film, what's it called? They finally show Bilbo Baggins versus Smaug the dragon. And they end up doing their fights. And after that, it says, "Come now, don't be shy. I just want to talk to you," you know, this really dramatic, like, medieval accent or whatever. He wants you to step into the light. And then after that, what happens is, he ends up saying, "Oh, I have a thief in my presence. You will die in this thing, Mr. Hobbit." And then after that, Bilbo Baggins. And he ends up calling him a barrel roller. It's funny as how he kept using barrel roller for some reason. And after that, he breathes fire out all over the place. He almost kills Bilbo Baggins a few times. He almost kills some of the elves. He ended up doing all these plans. I'm just going to get to the end of it because he ends up doing a lot of speed chases with this thing. He runs all over the palace and all these gold and silver's flying all over the fucking place. And after that, what happens at the end, Smaug almost falls all the way down to this pit and he goes all the way back up and flies. And after that, what happens, you can see the stake thing in his heart. He almost got stabbed like 1,000 years ago. You can see the wound where it was at, like around his chest somewhere there. Excuse me. And after that, what happens is that Smaug, he ends up getting turned into a big giant golden dragon. And he's like, "Oh, help me. This isn't the last time you'll ever see Smaug." And he ends up disappearing at the end. He actually escapes with his life with the burning hot gold. They're that's pretty much killing him with his veins and everything. It looks beautiful as hell when he's like getting turned into gold. And he hates the crap out of it too. And he wants to kill all the dwarves that are in there. He's like, I'll kill every single one of you. And after that, they run into like a big giant grave or whatever. It's like, no, this is not how we'll end up. This is not our destiny. Our destiny must be fulfilled. We are dwarves of Middle Earth. And after that, he ends up doing his big giant 300 speech or whatever. Epic, phenomenal as hell. Perfection at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. You can learn a thing or two from that if you want to be a government or whatever. If you want to do that, I don't care. But then last but not least, he says, I am the light. I am freaking Smaug. I thought he was going to say Batman for a minute. I was like, what? I am the definition and meaning of death. I am Smaug. I am all living God. And after that, he escapes with his life. And that's pretty much it. After Bilbo Baggins and the dwarves, the last part of the scene in the movie when all their jaws drop, like, no, this is bad. He's going to take over the world. He's going to kill everyone in that village that they escape. And then it all goes pitch black, and then the movie's done. So my overall thoughts, views, and opinions on this movie, 5 stars out of 5. 5 guns out of 5, firearms out of 5, because it is amazing as fuck. I give it 100%, 110%. Of all the action, the dialogue sequence, the CGI overworld environment was breathtaking. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Was not disappointed. I didn't fall asleep how some people did. I was actually extremely wide awake, even though I had to use a bathroom real fucking bad. I did not want to miss a second of this film so I could bring it to you guys, because I love every single one of you guys. No homo if you're a guy out there. And if you're a girl, let's hook up if you want. Other than that, very amazing acting. Real beautiful stuff. I know it was all shot in Australia and New Zealand, so shout out to all the people in Australia that were on, that was the team leaders of this movie, because you guys did an incredible, amazing job. They're probably going to get a lot of Emmy and SAG awards and Oscar awards for this thing. So I'm looking forward to that, Academy Awards or whatever. Definitely check that out if it's on there. And that's all I have to say. So like I always do say, phenomenal, epic movie. They'll probably make a PC Steam game out of this. I wouldn't be surprised. Or a simulation type of game. I'm definitely looking forward to it. If they are, I'm anticipating it. And like I always say, is what it is, ain't what it ain't. See you when I see you guys. Have a good day. Have a good night wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't drink the reckless. See you soon. See you around. Peace out. Ladies. Goodbye. And be safe and be easy, alright? Take care. See you soon. And yeah, I'm out of here, alright? Merry Christmas if I haven't said that already. And Happy fucking New Year, because we're almost into the year 2014, people. I can't even believe how long it's been, almost a year. It's going to be 6 years since I've been doing this YouTube next year. Peace out, ladies, and goodbye.